Hello, and welcome to our second Social Ad School live stream. I'm Tim Danio. I'm a video producer living in Missoula, Montana, and we got our buddy Tom Hamaker. Let us know who you are, man. What do you do?
Yeah, man, I'm a copywriter, freelancer, also soon to be offer owner, pretty much in the trenches day in, day out, working like a dog all the time, um, and live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, if anyone cares.
Nice. Yeah, we got the mountaintops out here, and then you got the rooftops in Philly.
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure.
Yeah, so this show is really geared for people who are in the copywriting space mainly. We really like to help out folks who are just getting started in copywriting, or they've got their own business and they're running their own ads on Facebook and other social media platforms. And they might be getting great results, or they might not be getting good results, but we want to help them, take it to the next level. So also, small ad agencies, boutique type places, some of the content that we're giving out here, I think will really help those folks as well. So that's just a shout out to all the people we're trying to help with this show. And this is kind of like a video podcast platform. So, we just have conversations. We don't have all the flashy effects coming in and all the different YouTube ways to keep your attention always focused on stuff. We just have conversations. We just kind of liven it up a little bit, go back and forth. I am I'm like the question asker because I'm not skilled in copywriting per se like Tom is. I'm more skilled in the making of video productions, but I also do copywriting and I also have written some ads before. But I'm just kind of trying to pick Tom's brain and figure out how it works, because copywriting, if you can get copywriting right, you can make some serious cash for one thing, but it's just a great way to sell. I mean, if you're doing a presentation, you could be a business owner, selling cars. If you know how to copyright, you're gonna be selling more cars. You're gonna be teaching your staff how to sell more cars, because you're gonna be writing ads for newspaper that are gonna sell more. You're just gonna be, upping your sales game, and that's really what we want to do. We want to give people a better quality of life, make them more confident in what they're doing, and just having fun with writing copy, because some of this stuff isn't rocket science, but it's also almost so natural and intuitive that you miss it, because you think there's got to be something else here, right? No, this is it. This is the secret. So, and bringing up the secrets in this show, we're going to be talking about a couple different secrets that Tom has kind of uncovered as he's worked in his copywriting career. We're going to drop those on you all for today. How's that sound? What do you think, Tom?
Yeah. No, you made some great points in there.
Yeah.
Like, this is what copy is. It's not. We like to build it up, because it sells when you make it sound like it's this amazing thing, but really it doesn't have to be that complicated. Um, but the thing is, if you get a couple things wrong, the whole thing tanks. And so
Yeah.
it's kind of a delicate process, I'd say.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You,
but I'm
you got.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to test and measure constantly. Just figure things out. Um, but the more you do it, the more clarity you get, the more confidence you get, the more you realize, what you're going to do here is actually going to make a difference over here. So it's not a total mystery, but you're dealing with human souls on the other end. They're going to make their decisions based upon whatever they make their decisions on. So some of the stuff is out of your control. Like, copywriters don't have the leverage of power to tell people what to think, but good copywriters allow people to think in a certain way that drives a sale that's actually beneficial for them, right? We don't want to
Yeah.
sell. We don't want to sell crap. We don't want to manipulate people to do stuff that they normally wouldn't want to do. Like, we're not trying to build a cult here, right? we're just
Right.
we want people to be happy with the products that they're selling and getting it to the people who need it the most. Who are going to
Exactly.
benefit from it. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's a win-win, then. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, people have problems. People want to buy cool new things. And if you want to sell those cool new things or fix those problems, you have to learn how to sell it. And
Yep.
if you want to sell it to the masses, you're going to have to learn how to do copy. So it's really, unless you want to hire a bunch of salespeople or go to a million doors a day yourself.
Yeah.
Um, but like I
Yeah.
said, it doesn't have to be that complicated. It's just there's so much information out there to digest it all. It's nearly impossible, and there's so much conflicting information. So we're just going to boil it down to the essentials, and get you up and running as soon as possible.
Nice. So let's get right into it. So we're going to talk about the four secrets to social media advertising. Um, this stuff is pretty important. This is like ground level foundational stuff. If you're a
Yeah.
newer copywriter, this is going to be like mind blowing for you. But if you're a seasoned copywriter, this might be review. But it's always good to go back to the basics and get that right, because that's every good sports person, every good artist. They're always going back to the fundamentals. So
Yeah.
this is what it's all about. All right. So
Yeah.
what's the first one on our list?
Yeah, so the first one's actually going to be strategy. So when you learn copy, everyone talks about the headlines, they talk about the body copy, they talk about benefits, they talk about features, but rarely do you hear about the strategy, right? The strategy behind writing emails or landing pages or Facebook ads or Google ads. And and so when we talk about strategy in terms of social media, it's so incredibly important that you get this right first before you write any piece of copy, because you need to understand that what you write for a Google ad is going to be a different strategy than a Facebook ad, different strategy for a YouTube ad, different strategy for Pinterest or native ads. Now, sometimes the ads can work on different or multiple platforms, but generally speaking, 9 times out of 10, your Google ads aren't going to work on Facebook and vice versa. And here's why: because for each platform, people go on them for a different reason. They have different mindsets, and you need to tap into that mindset, right? So if you are selling a divorce product, well, I worked with a pretty sizable company for a little bit, and it was like men's self-help, but it was guys going through a divorce or about to go through a divorce, and they got most of their traffic on Google ads, which made sense because you Google how to fix my marriage, how to win in the divorce, how to get my wife to stop, you know whatever, yelling at me. Like, I feel like I didn't do anything wrong. You Google that, but you don't go on Facebook looking for those answers. You go on Facebook probably trying to get away from uh, whatever your world is, whatever your reality is. So the message you present to people who click on your Google ad is going to be completely different than the message you're putting in front of people on Facebook, right? And different if you want to advertise on YouTube, because people use YouTube as either a search bar like they do Google, or for entertainment. Usually they are still looking for something. They're not just mindlessly scrolling. Um, so, uh, different strategies, which means different ads, which means you're going to have to think of different ways to um, fill the void in each strategy. So, Facebook, for instance, you're going to have to figure out a way to grab someone's attention, the right person's attention. So, a man going through divorce. Um, and then that's how your ad is going to start. Now, Google, you already have their attention, you have the direction they want to go in. You just have to make it interesting and believable enough that they want to keep clicking into your funnel. Like, wow, this guy went through it a lot. He's got the answers. Let's see what he's got, right? So, um, keep that in mind before you start thinking about the headlines, before you do the body copy. It's get the strategy down first. Where are you going to advertise? Is it a problem someone can just search on Google? Advertise on Google. Now, what should your advertisement be? It should be informative. It should um, I mean, this really depends on what kind of product you're selling too. But just understand how people are getting to your ad. Okay, that's going to determine the direction. And honestly, the easiest way, uh, if you haven't worked with agencies before, you haven't worked with clients before, or you're new to this, test it on yourself. What do you Google for? What do you go on Facebook for? Start being aware of these things. What ads might you click? Because most people don't. If you ask me, like I usually don't click on Google ads. So what ads might you click on Google and then click on them? Okay. And same with Facebook, right? Do the same thing. What ads made you click on Facebook? Why did they make you click? And you start to see patterns in these things and be like, oh, if this was a Google ad, what would I do different? Oh, if this was a Facebook ad, if this was on YouTube, how would I change it? Okay. And you just start to realize these things. And it's so, so important because I mean, I've worked with so many people who are nitpicky about the words, who are so nitpicky about the headlines. And I look at the ad and I'm like, this can't be shown on Facebook. One, it's not compliant, but two, it's a Google ad or like it's meant for YouTube. Like this is not rip people out of the scroll. This is completely off strategy. Sure, it might be good copy, but it's not on par with the strategy, guys. So keep the strategy of social media
Yeah,
of
it
each
sounds like
platform.
Google is like people who have an idea, they want to find it.
Yeah,
And for Facebook, it's like they don't want to have an idea. They just want to they want to get lost.
they
And
want to get
you're
lost. They want
and
to be
you're
entertained.
yeah, want to be entertained, and your ad is like a lightning bug in the field. You know, it's like, whoa, look at
Yeah,
that little dot. They weren't even expecting to see this thing, but here it is. But yeah, so I could see how those two different strategies are completely miles apart.
miles apart. If you go on Google to Google, divorce problems and how to fix them,
Hmm.
the last thing you want is some joker entertaining you. But if you're on Facebook scrolling away to get away from your life, that's the greatest thing you've ever seen is some guy trying to entertain you and actually
Yeah,
entertaining you and having a solution for your problem.
yeah, and
So
yeah, and you get into demographics too. Like LinkedIn demographics are different than Facebook, and
yeah,
Instagram different than TikTok.
yep,
You want to know where your audience is hanging out, and it's all the social media platforms. They seem like they kind of cater towards one. They want to niche onto a certain area. So yeah, that definitely has to be a part of your strategy. Like, where are these eyeballs anyway?
yeah, for sure, for
From the
sure.
get go. Yeah.
Instagram's going to be great for obviously younger
Yep.
audiences if you're selling, if you're just targeting them, and
Yeah.
Facebook's going to be great for the older, um, for sure, huge.
Nice. Yeah. Is that about it for the strategy? Or do you want to get into
Yeah, that's
something
about
else?
it.
Oh yeah.
Just
Cool.
really keep that in mind, and you're going to run into clients who, I would say most clients, most copywriters, I don't want to bash anyone, but it's like you're going to have clients who don't really get the strategy. And so it's up to you as the copywriter, as the professional, to guide them with your expertise in the right direction and to make a coherent argument to argue your case, because your ad is not going to work 9 times out of 10 if it's off strategy. I've seen ads go from YouTube to Facebook and work fine. I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen it in the good. It was in the guitar niche. Okay, so it could have been the niche. But it can happen. But I'd say 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work.
Cool. So now we're going to get into the next on the secret sauce list is giving your ads personality. Which,
Yeah,
how do you give words personality? How do you give black and white? You know, it seems like that's really hard to do.
it is. It is hard to do. This is probably the most advanced level of proof there is. It's also the most undercover, probably one of the most potent credibility enhancers for your ad you could ever, especially on the web, where everything, anytime you're being sold, it really feels like the same old sales pitch over and over again. It feels like it's written by a robot, or the guy's just filling out a template and selling it to you, until once in a while you come across a personality ad or an email or whatever it is, and it hooks you because it shows that there's a real person behind the ad or the email or whatever it is. And that's why video is so great for a lot of people, because it's a lot easier to them for them to show their personality and show they're a person. Um, but in that case, there's other parameters. Um, but if you're just writing copy, I would recommend really looking. Guys like Dan Kennedy, great with it. Ben Settle, they have kind of similar personalities. Um, But if you sign up on as many email lists as possible, start stalking ads as many as possible, and eventually you are going to find people with personality pieces. And these are the ads and emails you really want to stalk, right? Frank Kern, great with it. His whole shtick was the surfer dude. Long time ago, he kind of dropped that now, but because what this does is, um, it polarizes people. Now, whether you like that or not, it's a great selling technique. Not everyone's going to like you regardless, especially if you're selling them something. Um, but if you polarize people, you push a bunch of people away. For as many people as you push away, you bring as many people in even closer, probably. I don't know what the exact ratio is, but it works incredibly well, and not a lot of people use it.
Yeah.
And once again, your clients are gonna. I just had a client. I had edits due today, and I open it up, and they didn't understand. Can we get rid of these words? Can we get rid of these words? Can we add benefits here? Can we? And I'm just like, no, you're not. You're not getting it. Like, it's coming from the owner. It's supposed to be like the owner is this cool yet energetic, but still kind of chill guy. And you know, they knew, copyright and jargon. We need benefits. We need
Yeah.
this. And like, that's not it when you're advertising on social media. Yes, you can have benefits, but guys, making sure that you're a real person and making sure people that know that you're a real person, it goes like, it's so important, because it goes right into our next secret, but like, it's one of the keys to advertising on social media. Like, that's why ridiculous people have the most followers. Like, the people who are most out there with their personality, with their makeup, whatever it is, those people, they get attention and they hold attention. And they're the ones, like, people live normal lives. Like, when they see someone living a crazy life or having a polar personality, like, I want to read about that.
Yeah.
That's what I want to click on.
Yeah, and
So
it's got to be authentic too. And if you're writing for a company, you want to get to know the culture. You want to get to know the CEO, all the people involved there. Maybe even show up and hang out and just spend the day just chilling with people, just trying to figure out what this place is like. If that's what your job calls for, if you want to figure that stuff out. But yeah, you got to embody, because branding really is just a relationship with the company and the buyer, the customer, and it's that promise that you are going to help them, and that
yeah,
you're great to work with, and all the stuff that you talk about in your branding, your colors, your logo, everything's expressing this thing. It's really hard to define what that is, but it's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's a gut level thing, and your ads should just kind of imbibe that.
yeah, yeah. The vibe. I mean, that's it. I
Yeah.
mean, like, it's really hard to explain how to inject personality. It's something you just have to follow, and then
Mhm.
write and write and write and write, and eventually you start to build a personality.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what personality is not, is like a lot of corporate big companies try to be like a fun, sweet, cheery, and you see that all the time.
The colors,
That's yeah.
the fake photos that are like, downloaded from whatever iStock and
That's not personality. Personality is going like, I'm going to teach you how to write copy in 50 days. It's going to, you know, and um, if you can't write copy in 50 days, I'm going to pay you $2,000 out of my pocket. That's literally how confident I am that this is going to work. Don't believe me? Then don't give me your money because I don't want it.
yeah,
Right? Right.
yeah,
Taking a stance, it could be cocky, you could be just straightforward, you could be funny, you could be um,
yeah,
you can be anything really, you know.
yeah,
But don't try to look like a corporate company trying to be like nice and sweet.
yeah.
Um, it's just like people. Are you interested in nice and sweet when you go on things? I mean,
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I'm looking for something exciting, something riveting. Like this guy's got some cojones on him. That's what I want. Or this girl is like, wow, how is she doing? How is she juggling? She's going to teach you how to be super productive with your time because
Hmm.
she runs 4 businesses, right? And she's confident about it, and she'll even pay you.
Yeah,
She'll pay you if it doesn't work. That's how confident she is. That's the kind of stuff that grabs and holds attention. That kind of stuff.
yeah. I've received email marketing type stuff from people that it feels like supernatural, not supernatural like spiritual
Yeah.
supernatural, but very natural. It
Yeah.
feels very natural. Their punctuation isn't right. They're
Yep.
they're not capitalizing the right words. They're using the dot 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 all the time, but
Yep.
but I'm reading it and it just feels like a conversation. It just feels like this dude's riffing. He's just flowing, or this gal or whatever, and it's easy to read and it's fun. And
Yeah.
wow, I'm engaged in this email somehow that I was trying to like delete, but I accidentally clicked on it and now I'm hooked. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's lots of ways, even with your structure of your sentences and how you punctuate or don't punctuate. You might even throw in a misspelling here and there just to let people know that you're not the best speller, but that's being
Yeah.
authentic. You don't have to be this rigid, perfect. Grade school, your grammar teacher's going to give it an A or a Z or D, not a Z but a D. Yeah, I don't know why I said Z. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what they're doing in schools now. But yeah, anyway, yeah, just go for it. Be yourself. Be real.
Yeah. Record yourself talking. Go on a rant for 20 minutes. At the 20-minute mark, you'll probably actually hit who you actually are, and then you'll forget that you're recording yourself. And then, you know, read the transcription, an hour's worth of transcription, and be like, oh my God, I said this stuff. Like, ooh, this doesn't sound like the way I write copy. And it's like, well, this is the way you should write copy because no one else writes it with personality, or very few do. But if you look at all the greats, they all have a style, and it's because they all wrote with personality. You can literally read the ads and be like, "Oh, this guy wrote this," because you know his personality.
Nice. All right, let's go
Yeah.
on to the next one, which
So the
is
next
very
one,
Yeah, it's very similar. What is the next
yeah,
one?
it leads right into it. It's be interesting, right? Have an interesting idea for the ad. Personality is going to add and to make you interesting. Um, but also your idea, it needs to be interesting.
Mhm.
Guys, you're competing if you're advertising on Facebook, you're competing with your friends, your family, other advertisers. Like people just think when I ask clients, I'm like, "Who are your competitors?" And they're like, "Oh, we." First of all, clients don't think they have any competitors most of the time. Not saying all clients are like that, but a lot of them are. And then they go, "Oh, we have no competitors." And I'm just, where are you advertising? Facebook? I'm like, "Oh, yeah, your competition is literally everyone. You're trying to sell things to people. Meanwhile, my high school friends are posting baby pictures that I rather see, and so is getting married, and some guy just shot a deer and I want to look how
Yeah.
big the deer.
It's the
That-
attention conundrum.
exactly. So that's your competition, guys. It's not just who else is in business against you. That there's so much stuff that affects that, like your business model. You know, um, whoever wins, the profit wars. But if you want to, win on social media, it's you got to be the most interesting thing there is, right? So how do you do that? Well, you got to start paying attention to what interests people, what interests you, and you got to start making note of these things, whether they're mental checklists. I don't know how smart you are. I'm not that smart, so I got to make a list of this stuff in a booklet, right? So I talked about it before, but go to a website called interestingfacts.com. It's literally just mind blowing, interesting facts every single day. Um, Scroll on the tabloids, see what tabloids you're interested in. Like TMZ, get that app. It's a bunch of garbage, but God, it's interesting, you know? Um, so, yeah, you start piecing these things together, and eventually, after a lot of practice and a lot of writing, and just talking with people. You talk with other advertisers, talk with your friends. You start to really, really develop that interest, or yeah, I'll call it the interest antenna, right? Where you can just pick up, you could be like, oh, is this idea interesting? That one's not too good. But this one, yeah, people, maybe it doesn't click, but it's going to get people to stop scrolling, right? Okay. So you start to develop um, I guess, an intuition for it, then it's up to you to have the cojones to actually run the ad because, what's interesting is also what's kind of out there. When we talked about personality, I talked about, the ridiculous personalities have the most followers. Well, how far you want to go on being interesting, you're going to have to be kind of ridiculous. You're going to have to be out there. And so that's going to take a certain amount, a certain level of um, will from you to stand behind your ad and actually run it. Now, thankfully, it doesn't cost a lot of money to run ads on the internet, so you can just take the ad down and. Um, but if you're not interesting, you're toast. All right, it's simple as that.
So what's the difference between being interesting and being flashy or needy? Like
Yeah.
you don't want to come across as desperate, like you're being interesting just to get something.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, if you are in the good examples like the biz op niche, right? And everyone is on a boat or in their car or
Mm,
they're like on top of in a hotel and the background's like an amazing view.
totally.
That stuff is so overused it's not interesting.
Yeah.
If there was a guy in a jail cell filming a thing for a biz op niche, I'd be like, yo, this is cool. This is interesting. Right?
Okay.
So
So it's a matter of go not exceeding expectations, but in a way that is inherently different from everybody
yes.
else. And yeah, like you're saying, just it's contagiously. It's like there's an infectiousness to it. You have to
Yeah,
look at it. You have to see it because you're just piqued. Your interest is piqued.
exactly. Yeah. It's like wait, I've never seen this before. Or oh, I've never heard that before. That's kind of a weird statement to say, but let me keep reading. That can't be real. Oh, what? How do you get a video camera in jail? What?
Why is he even in jail?
Why is he even in jail?
Yeah.
Which that's a great idea for an ad if someone can figure that out. Um, Dang, that's $1 million idea right there.
Cool.
But yeah, so and then you're gonna have to gauge your niche. Like if everyone's riding in a big red car, don't ride in a big red car. It's not interesting. Don't
Hmm.
do it. Maybe make fun of them. Maybe I don't know. Start start making note of the interesting conversations you have with your friends when it gets boring. this type of stuff actually, when it comes time to write your ad, is going to help you out a lot.
Yeah, and just having the right. I mean, the interest is really in the hook, right? The hook and the making it interesting and hooking it
Yeah.
is. It seems like it's a mutual expression.
Yeah, the idea.
Yeah.
I'd say idea. Hook, yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay.
Um,
Or like, did you know that? Or
yeah,
why am I sitting in this cell right now?
yeah,
And then in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to tell you how my life just fell apart and how I'm going to rebuild it
yeah,
or something. I don't know.
yeah. That'd be awesome. I mean, that's interesting. Yeah, like yo, I was a millionaire and now I'm broke and in jail. Here's the plan.
And I'm on my cell phone. Like, I snuck my cell phone in past the cops. So I'm
And we're gonna
home.
break out of here and then we're gonna build a business.
And my buddy G Slice over here in the corner is we're gonna do this together.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna teach this convict how to make $1 million.
I mean, I don't. It could probably sell. It
Yeah.
that would get my attention. Um, and then you have like think about it. There's like the implied stuff, like guys who are in prison. They go through a lot mentally, and there's some of the most disciplined guys on the planet. Like you can actually learn a lot from these guys. So then, not only is the idea interesting, but you're grabbed in because like
It's
this
a
guy
different
probably
world.
knows
Yeah.
something. Yeah, he probably knows something I don't know.
Mm.
He's experienced something I
Yeah.
don't experience. I've never experienced, so he has information for me. And
Yeah.
like boom, that's where the whole thing comes together.
Okay. Yeah. In a world where we're just bombarded and immersed in information,
Yeah,
if you can actually provide a sphere of information that nobody knows about, or it's very rare, that's inherently going to be interesting because we pretty much think we know everything, or we can know everything with our cell phones. Just basically ask Siri a question and you'll get some kind of an answer. So we almost have this limiting belief. I think it's limiting that we know everything, but we really don't.
oh yeah,
So your
oh yeah,
ad needs to like kind of break that bubble to say you might not know about this.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's a complete shift in beliefs, and that's gonna hook people like
Belief
instantly.
shifting. Belief shifting.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
Cool. All
cool.
right. What's next on the list, my friend?
We
What
have
we got?
secret number 4. Give them just enough to click. That's it. You're not closing a sale. You're not offering bonuses. You could sell your bonus, but you are just getting the click or just getting the email address or you're not closing deals right now when you're advertising on social media, okay? You want them usually to go to a landing page to get their email if your funnel is probably set up correctly or you're driving them to a webinar or VSL or something, but you are not selling your product yet. Now I know there's times where people, you show a product, then you click and you take them to the checkout page for ecom. You see that a lot. But still the point of the advertisement is to get them just to click. And this is a completely different mindset, completely different strategy. This ties back into strategy that you just kind of dangle the carrot in front of them so they want to see what's on the other side if they click. All right. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to get someone to pull their wallet out and type in those numbers and hand you their money. It does not take a lot to get someone to click. They think about it, just a click, right? That's why I say you don't have to overthink this stuff,
Yeah.
right? You don't have to use every tool in your arsenal. That's another thing. It's like, does the ad have testimonials? Does it have urgency? Does it have this? Does it have that? It's just like sometimes most of the time, you don't need to use every tool in the arsenal. That's for a sales page because you have to get them to pull their money out and hand it to you. But this is a click. Sometimes you can just make it interesting and people want to click, right? Or you could just give them a really, say, look, hey, look, I'm like a compelling offer, like Frank Kern does. Like, hey, you can have 3 books for a couple bucks or something,
Yeah,
and that's it.
yeah,
But he's not selling you his $5,000, you know, ticket. I see people selling 60, 50, 40, 90, whatever dollar courses. You know, it's a long form Facebook ad. You get to the end and it's like, well, it only costs $90, but you also get these 3 bonuses. And I'm like, oh my God, no one's on Facebook for this.
yeah,
Even if you suck them in, even if your hook is great, even if you have personality and you got the strategy right, and you're
yeah,
interesting, you don't sell them on Facebook.
yeah.
They're not there yet. They're just
They're
not
not
there
there.
yet.
Yeah, the dating analogy is used a lot with marketing, but I would take it even before dating. This is like when you're on Facebook, it's almost like you just want to catch a woman's eye or a man's eye across the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just making a decision. I'm gonna walk up and talk to this person, or I'm gonna see if I can get a little closer to this person to see if I could get a conversation. It's like a decision to get a little closer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not the full thing. And
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
you see it all the time. All the
Yeah.
time. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. When people are
Maybe it
pushing
works.
and they give you their card, and then they give you their spiel, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm not here
Yeah.
for that. I'm just here to hang out and have fun with my friends, and this
Yeah.
uncle, whatever comes over and he's trying to sell you his multi-level marketing system that's going to change your life. You're like, dude,
Right.
leave me alone.
Yeah. And no, I would say this is 9 times out of 10. There are markets, there are niches where you could probably just present a incredibly good offer, irresistible offer. And I mean incredibly irresistible, because for an offer to be irresistible these days, you literally have to, the person should be like, wow,
Hmm.
this guy is risking his life and his business because this offer is so good.
Oh,
Then I'm sure in some cases it could work. But generally speaking, if you're getting into social media advertising, you're an average Joe or you're a seasoned vet or you're a beginner, selling your entire product on social media is a waste of time. It just is. You just have to get them to click. There's and then get their email address. So then you can actually start sending them to a sales page. And then you can start selling them
hmm,
hard, or however, you want to define it.
yep.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it simplifies things too. It gives you a more clear problem to solve getting the click than getting the sale. Getting the click and getting the sale are totally miles apart.
Miles apart. Getting a click is way less intimidating, takes all the pressure off. And you're still going to have to eventually get the sale. But
Yeah,
for the time being, yeah, for the time being, it takes the pressure off. Um,
cool.
but yeah, that's it. That's, God, if you can get those 4 down, you're going to look like an expert to clients. You're going to look like, you could take those to your friends. I don't care. Um, you're really going to be light years ahead of so many people. So many.
Great. Yeah, I think that hits our list here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody watching this video, if you're new to our channel, again, we're really focusing in on the social media ad space with a particular focus on copywriting. So if you are a independent copywriter yourself, you're new into the whole field. If you're an independent business owner and you want to write copy for your own ads on Facebook or whatnot, hopefully this is your place to be. We're really trying to help those folks out, give them more confidence, give them more clarity, and also having it be a testing ground for us to throw things back and forth and give each other feedback, because it sucks to be alone when you're writing copy and you don't know why your ad's not working. Hopefully the Social Ad School can be a resource to kind of get you through that and get you, to level up your skills as a copywriter and ultimately make more sales and grow your business. All right.
Well said. Well said.
All right. We'll see everybody on the next episode.
See ya.